If you're interested in having your students practice some graphing skills, you may want to have them work on some simple drawings that make them think about X and Y coordinates. The origin of the EV3 screen coordinate frame is located in the top left corner of the screen. X values on the screen vary from 0 to 177, and Y values vary from 0 to 127. The EV3 allows you to draw 4 simple shapes on the screen: lines, circles, rectangles, and points. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this image block so that instead of displaying an image, it's displaying a shape. And let's do a rectangle. Now we're going to specify the X and Y coordinates of the top left corner of our rectangle, and you need to remember that the top left corner of the screen is where the origin of our coordinate system is. So why don't we make X be 89, and let's see, the screen's 177 pixels wide, so that would put the left edge of the rectangle roughly in the middle of the screen. And why don't we leave Y alone and leave that as 0, so that means the top of the rectangle is going to be at the very top of our screen, and we set the width in here. Let's change it. Let's make it 40 pixels wide, and maybe we'll make it 100 pixels high. This choice right here tells us whether the rectangle is going to be filled in or not. Remember, it's a black rectangle, and yeah, sure, let's fill in the rectangle. And this tells us what color to draw. We can draw in white or black, and this is for the outline, so let's leave it in black. Okay, so let's download this. Okay, so let's go up to my project, JSK-week 3. Let's go in, and we'll do image play, and let's see what we get. Yeah, that looks pretty good because, you know, the left edge is about halfway along. The top edge is at the top of the screen. Let me show you again. There you go. Looks good. If we set the color to black, then here's roughly what our shape will look like with fill set to true and also fill set to false. Setting your color to white may seem a bit odd. Draw a white outline on a white screen with or without white fill and you don't see anything. But what if we try to draw a white rectangle on top of our black one? Okay, so let's grab another image block, display block, and let's put it right there. Good. And we'll say we want to do shapes, another rectangle. And let's make the new rectangle start 10 pixels to the right of this. So that was 89, so let's make this 99. And maybe 10 pixels lower. We started this at 0, so let's do this one at 10. And let's reduce the width and height a bit so that it fits nicely into the rectangle. So that was 40. Why don't we make the width of this one 20? And that was 100. Let's make the height 60 this time. And we do want it to be filled, and we want it to be a white rectangle. Okay, so let's see. Is this going to work? Let's download. Okay, so let's go up to week 3 again. Let's go in. We're going to run image play. Let's take a look. Huh. That's no good. Let's try one more time. Ugh. Okay, so your first thought should be, did I run the right program? In the interest of time, let me assure you that we did run the correct program. So let's take a look at our program in detail. Our first display block tells us we want to draw a rectangle. And this check mark says that before we do anything else, we want to clear the EV3 screen. So let's do that now. Okay, the screen is clear. Now, this option tells us we want our rectangle to be black. And here we see that its top left corner will be located at XY position 89, 0. That's located about here. This option tells us our rectangle should be 40 pixels wide. So that'll be something like this. Here we see it should be 80 pixels high. So the outline of our resulting rectangle will look something like this. The check mark here means that our rectangle should be filled in, and so it ends up looking kind of like this. Great, we're done this first block. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, next block. Again, it's a rectangle. But hang on. The first thing we tell it to do is to clear the screen. So goodbye, black rectangle. From this point on, I'm guessing you see what happens. We're drawing a white rectangle on a white screen. So no matter where we put it, the screen is just going to be pure white. Okay, this shouldn't be too bad to fix. Let's just take this clear screen, which is set to true, and set it to false. All right, let's download. Okay, so we've got to go back up to this project again, into our project, and back to image play, and let's take a look. Woohoo! That looked great.